If you're sitting at your desk right now and thinking, I need a laptop that won't quit on me after a few hours of gaming, that won't make me listen to a roaring fan, and that actually feels good to type on, then you're exactly where most buyers hesitate. The problem with a lot of gaming laptops is that they're built around a glossy spec sheet, promising raw horsepower but often forgetting the day-to-day moments that matter, a late-night raid after work, a quick Zoom call, or even just a coffee break video stream. You want something reliable, easy to live with, and worth the money, not just a product with a long feature list. The Dell 16 Plus tries to walk that line, and the link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the 16-inch 1610 2.5K panel is one of the most noticeable deviations from the usual 16:9 gaming laptop. At 25601600 you get noticeably more vertical space, which translates to a real advantage in games that use a lot of HUD elements, as well as in productivity apps like Photoshop or even just scrolling through long spreadsheets. In my own testing, the extra rows meant I could keep my Discord chat visible while still having a clear view of the battlefield. The color accuracy is decent straight out of the box, enough for casual editing, but it's not a calibrated studio panel, so if you need color-critical work you'll still want an external monitor. The heart of this machine is the Intel Core Ultra 9288V paired with Dell's Arc graphics. For most modern titles, think Cyberpunk 2077 or Elden Ring. The combination handles 1080p ultra settings without stuttering, and you can comfortably push to 1440p on medium-high settings. What matters more than raw frames, though, is how the laptop manages heat under that load. Here Dell's cooling solution shows both its strengths and its compromises. The dual-fan system with vapor chamber design does keep temperatures below 85°C during a 2-hour gaming marathon, which is respectable for a thin 16-inch chassis. However, you'll hear the fans ramp up noticeably once you cross that threshold. The noise isn't a high-pitched whine, but it does become a humming backdrop that can be distracting if you're trying to stream or record voice chat. In practice, I found it manageable by lowering the in-game graphics a notch or two and letting the fans settle into a lower audible range. Keyboard feel is another practical factor that can make or break a gaming laptop, especially when you're typing for hours between matches. The Dell 16 Plus brings a backlit Copilot key layout, which essentially means the WASD cluster is slightly raised, offering a tactile cue for gamers. The key travel sits somewhere between a traditional laptop keyboard and a mechanical one, responsive enough for rapid key presses, yet soft enough to avoid finger fatigue. In real-world use, I could type an email, jump into a game, and then switch back to a spreadsheet without feeling the keyboard switch modes. The only downside is that the keycaps have a matte finish which can collect fingerprints over time, so you'll want a quick wipe every now and then. Battery life on a gaming laptop is rarely a selling point, and the Dell 16 Plus is no exception. With a 70 wh battery, you can expect about 3 to 4 hours of mixed usage, some light browsing, a few minutes of video playback, and a short gaming session on low settings. The moment you crank up the GPU, the battery drains fast, which is why most buyers will keep this machine plugged in for any serious play. If you're a student or a professional who needs long unplugged sessions, you might look at a thinner Ultrabook instead. Portability is a mixed bag. At 4.2 kilograms and 20 millimeters thick, the laptop feels solid but not exactly carry-on friendly. For commuters who regularly hop on trains or need to lug the machine into a LAN party, the weight is something to consider. On the other hand, the 16-inch screen size offers a more comfortable viewing angle than the cramped 15-inch alternatives that dominate the market, and the extra screen real estate can actually reduce the need for a secondary monitor if you're frequently on the go. Now, who should buy the Dell 16 Plus? If you're a mid-level gamer who also does serious content creation, think video editing, 3D rendering, or running AI-assisted tools, this laptop hits a sweet spot. The 32 GB of LPDDR5X memory and 2 TB SSD give you ample headroom for large project files and quick load times. The inclusion of an FHD Plus webcam is a nice touch for streamers who need a decent built-in camera without adding an external one. Professionals who value a larger, higher resolution display for multitasking will appreciate the 16:10 aspect ratio, as will anyone who spends a lot of time reading code or text. On the flip side, the Dell 16 Plus isn't the best choice for pure esports players who prioritize ultra-low latency and the highest possible frame rates on a smaller screen. Those who are extremely sensitive to fan noise or who need maximum battery endurance should also consider alternatives.